in the quiet mountain town of Boone, North Carolina, where winding roads cut through the Blue Ridge and familiar faces are part of everyday life. The disappearance of James Roberts left behind more questions than answers. One moment, he was part of the world his loved ones knew. Then, without warning, he was gone. What followed was fear, confusion, and a search for the truth that has weighed heavily on everyone who has wondered what happened to him.
Tonight, we take a closer look at the missing person case of James Roberts, the circumstances surrounding his disappearance, and the people still hoping for answers. Behind every missing person report is a life interrupted, a family left waiting, and a community forced to confront the unknown. This is not just a story about someone who vanished. It is a story about memory, hope, and the urgent need to bring James Roberts home.
No problem. All units
I'm at the corner of Pleasant Hill and John Young Parkway.
Welcome back to Crime Solvers Central. Thank you for joining us. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Jace.
Today we're discussing the missing person case of James Roberts. His friends and family refer to him commonly as Martin, and so that's how we'll be referencing him in this video. It is important to mention that he also had tattoos that could help identify him. One was on his left forearm, showing 3 mountains. Another was on his chest or rib area. When he was last seen, he was reportedly wearing Appalachian State clothing. He had on khaki shorts, gray shoes, white socks, and a white visor. Some reports have also mentioned that he was carrying a backpack.
His clothing, his backpack, and the location all matter. Because in a missing persons case, a small detail can become the singular piece that unlocks everything else.
Martin was connected to Boone through school and friends. He had attended Appalachian State University before enrolling at Caldwell Community College and Technical Institute. He was reportedly working toward improving his grades after they had fallen, and he had hoped to return to Appalachian State later that fall.
So this was a young man at a crossroads. He was trying to figure out school, what his next chapter may hold, and then suddenly his life becomes a mystery.
Tonight, we're going to walk through what is known about this disappearance. We'll talk about the timeline, the details that stand out, and the theories that people have discussed over the years.
But as we aim to say in every episode, theories are not facts, and we are not here to accuse anyone. We are here to keep Martin's name, face, and story in front of people, because someone may know something. Someone may have seen something in Boone that day, and may have heard a detail years ago and not realize that it mattered.
And after over a decade, even one small piece of information could still make a difference. But before we talk about the day Martin disappeared, we need to talk about who he was. Because missing person cases are not just timelines and locations, they're people.
Martin was from Kernersville, North Carolina. By 2016, he was living in Boone, a mountain town known for Appalachian State University, the Blue Ridge Parkway, and a large student population. Martin was 19 years old, an important age. At 19, you are legally an adult, but you're still becoming who you are.
You're making decisions about school, trying to prove yourself, and carrying all kinds of pressure, even when people around you don't always see it. Martin had been connected to Appalachian State. He had also joined Tau Kappa Epsilon. Later on, he had enrolled at Caldwell Community College and Technical Institute.
Reports say he wanted to improve his academic standing. He was hoping to return to Appalachian State University that next fall, and that tells us he still had a plan. There have also been reports that friends noticed changes in him before he disappeared. He was said to be more reserved and quiet, and less social than usual.
That matters, but it also has to be handled carefully. A change in behavior does not automatically explain a disappearance. However, it is context. It is not automatically a conclusion. Martin was also known to enjoy the outdoors. He liked hiking and camping, which is an important detail because Boone is surrounded by mountains, trails, overlooks, and wooded areas.
But liking the outdoors is not the same as disappearing into the outdoors. It tells us that Martin may have been comfortable in that environment, but it does not tell us where he went.
Which is the hard part. A person can have routines, interests, plans, and be as predictable of a person as it's possible to be. And still, one day something happens and nobody around them can explain.
The image of 19-year-old Martin Roberts is frozen in time for his parents. The East Forsyth High School soccer player turned college student, who would now be 24 years old, is still missing.
It definitely is very eerie to look at, especially at first, because, Martin has set in my mind 5 years ago, or even before that, with old pictures that are, around the house.
The date was Thursday, April 21st, 2016. Martin was in Boone, North Carolina. At some point that day, he was seen near the Appalachian State University area. The last confirmed sighting places him there around 12:30 p.m. He was near the Appalcart bus stop area, close to River Street and Blowing Rock Road, near the Holmes Convocation Center.
That is a notoriously busy area. Students move through there, buses come and go. Cars pass through there nearly all the time. People walk to class, to work, to lunch, or back to where they live. That is why this case feels so unsettling. Martin was last seen in a place where someone could have noticed him. And yet, after that point, there is no confirmed trail.
Reports say he spoke with his cousin before walking away. That detail has stayed with this case. It suggests he was seen alive and moving around normally shortly before he disappeared.
Then, he walked away from the area. From there, the timeline becomes absolutely uncertain, and that uncertainty is where the case has stayed for years.
When Martin did not contact his father, concern began to grow. Messages went unanswered. Calls did not bring him to the phone, and eventually, people went to check on him. Inside his room, some important items were reportedly left behind: his phone, electronics, and other important personal belongings.
That detail raises questions. In 2016, a 19-year-old leaving without his phone is unusual. Not totally impossible, but unusual. A phone is connection. It contains maps. It's how we access our money. It's how we contact our friends. If Martin left without it, it could mean he planned to be away from it. It could also mean he left quickly, or it could even mean that something happened before he was able to come back.
There was also a note. Reports have described the note as vague, and it spoke of disappointment and missed opportunities, but it did not clearly state an intent to harm himself.
That's another detail that has to be handled with care. A note can mean many things. It can reflect stress, shame, and even a temporary emotional state. But it does not answer the final question. Where did Martin go after he walked away?
Yeah, that is still the biggest unknown.
After Martin was reported missing, searches were conducted in Boone and the surrounding area. This is extremely mountainous terrain, which is not a small detail. Boone is not a flat city. It has neighborhoods, hills, wooded areas, trails, rivers, steep roads, and nearby wilderness. A search in that environment can get complicated fast.
Authorities and volunteers searched. Tips were followed. And over the years, the case has reached beyond Boone. But despite those efforts, no confirmed evidence has publicly explained what happened to Martin. No confirmed final destination or sighting that resolves the timeline. There has been no discovery that brings closure.
The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has kept Martin's case visible. An age-progressed image was released showing how he may have looked at 24. Today, Martin would be 29 years old. That is a detail that can be hard to sit with because the public often remembers the missing person as they were in the original poster.
The Boone Police Department remains connected to this case. NCMEC also lists a 24-hour hotline, and High Country Crime Stoppers has been associated with a reward for information.
That means that this is not just a story from the past, that this is still an open wound, and it is still a case where information matters.
There are several details in Martin's case that stand out. The first that stands out is the time of day. He was last seen during midday.
That creates a strange contrast. A disappearance during daylight can feel less likely, but daylight does not guarantee safety. It only means there may have been more potential witnesses.
The second detail is the location. This was near campus, by a bus stop in a public area. If someone was there that day, they may remember something. Some of those things may be a young man walking alone, a backpack, a white visor, a person getting into a vehicle, or a person heading toward a trail, road, or neighborhood.
The third detail is what was left behind. Martin's phone and electronics were reportedly left in his room, which leaves a major gap. Without a phone, there's less digital evidence, no easy GPS trail, no obvious last messages after the fact, and no simple answers from his device.
The fourth detail is the note. Again, it was described as vague. It cannot be ignored, but it also cannot be treated as the entire explanation. People under stress can write things that they don't fully mean, and it is possible to leave notes that are easily misconstrued during moments of shame, confusion, or frustration. And then things can go in many directions.
The fifth detail is Martin's outdoor experience. He enjoyed hiking and camping, which can matter if he was headed toward a natural area, but Boone has many outdoor areas. The Blue Ridge Parkway is nearby. There are trails, overlooks, wooded routes, and places where a person could be difficult to find.
That makes the search area wide. It also means someone who is hiking, driving, fishing, camping, or working outdoors in April 2016 may have seen something relevant, and they may not have known it. That is why these cases need repeated attention. A person can hear the details years later and suddenly remember something they dismissed at the time.
It's easy for true crime conversations to become mechanical. Everything from the timeline, the evidence, the searches, and of course the theories. But Martin's family has lived with this every day, every birthday, holiday, and every anniversary of April 21st.
For a family, the not knowing is its own kind of trauma. There is no clear grief process and no answers to hold on to. You wake up with the same question. Where is he? And then you go to sleep with that same question. And you deal with that torment every day.
Martin's parents have asked the public to come forward with information. They have said that no lead is too small, often something families say because they know how cases break.
And cases don't always break because of one dramatic confession. Sometimes they break because of one overlooked memory, or a person finally deciding to speak. Maybe someone saw Martin walking after 12:30. Perhaps someone gave him a ride. Maybe someone heard a friend talk about him, or maybe someone found an item and never connected it.
Here are some things to pick your mind for if you were in the area. A backpack, a visor, a piece of clothing, a memory from the trail, or a strange interaction near campus. Any of that can matter, and if it doesn't matter, let investigators decide that. The public does not have to solve the case before making a tip.
That's important. You do not have to be certain. You just have to be honest.
Martin Roberts vanished from Boone back on this day in 2016. He was last seen walking away from a bus station near the App State University Convocation Center and hasn't been seen since. Last year, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children sent out an age progression image. The image, created by forensic artists, shows what Martin might look like today.
Now we're going to talk through some of the possibilities that have been discussed around Martin's case. As always, these are theories, not conclusions.
The first possibility is that Martin left voluntarily. There are details that make people consider that. The note, the items left behind, and the possibility that he was struggling. But voluntary disappearance does not answer everything. A 19-year-old leaving without a phone, money access, and digital connection would be difficult, and especially so to remain completely unseen for years.
The second possibility is that Martin entered a remote outdoor area and something happened. This theory comes up because of Boone's terrain and Martin's interest in hiking. He may have known trails, known areas around the Blue Ridge Parkway, and may have felt comfortable walking away from town.
The third possibility is that Martin encountered someone after leaving the bus stop area. This could be someone he knew, or it could be someone he didn't know. If he got into a vehicle, the timeline could change quickly. A person can go from a public campus area to a completely different location in minutes. That is why witnesses matter. We need to ask, did someone see him get into a car? Did someone notice a vehicle stop near him? Did someone see him walking in a direction that was never confirmed?
The fourth possibility is that Martin experienced a medical or mental health crisis. NCMEC notes that he may be in need of medical attention, which truly matters. It does not tell us exactly what happened, but it does tell us that concern for his well-being has always been a part of this case.
The fifth possibility is that more than one factor is involved. Stress, a sudden decision, an encounter, the geography of Boone. Real life is often not one clean theory. Sometimes a person makes one choice and then something unexpected happens. Sometimes the first part of a disappearance is voluntary and the second part is not.
That's why investigators need facts, not rumors, assumptions, online certainty. Simple facts like time, vehicle, location, person, sightings, or conversations.
These are the pieces that can move a case forward. Do any of these theories resonate with you? Do you have one of your own? Let us know in the comments.
If you only remember a few things from this episode, remember this. James Martin Roberts disappeared from Boone, North Carolina on April 21st, 2016. He was 19 years old, and he was last seen around 12:30 p.m. near the Appalcart bus stop and the Appalachian State University Convocation Center area.
He had brown hair and blue eyes, was around 5'9" to 5'11", and he weighed around 140 to 150 pounds. He may have been wearing Appalachian State clothing, khaki shorts, gray shoes, white socks, and a white visor. He may also have been wearing a backpack.
He has a tattoo on his left forearm showing 3 mountains. He also has a tattoo on his chest or rib area. He may go by Martin. That's the name many people knew him by.
If you were in Boone on April 21st, 2016, think back and ask yourself, were you near campus? Were you near River Street? Were you near Blowing Rock Road? Were you riding Appalcart? Were you driving near the Convocation Center? Were you hiking, working, or traveling around the Boone area that day?
Think about the white visor or that backpack. Think about a young man walking alone in the middle of the day. You may have seen something and never connected it. You may have seen something years ago and never realized it mattered.
But it could matter, as long as you choose now to share it.
Martin Roberts has been missing for years, but his case is not forgotten, and his family still needs answers.
And answers can still come. Cases that sit for years can move forward because one person finally speaks or one person remembers. If one person sends in a tip, the case can break.
If you have information about the disappearance of James Martin Roberts, contact the Boone Police Department. You can also contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
And if you want to provide information through Crime Solver Central, visit the Crime Solver Central website. You can find Martin's case profile there and submit information. We will make sure that it's routed to the appropriate agency.
Do not assume that your tip is too small. Do not assume that somebody else already reported it. Let investigators decide what matters, and please share Martin's story. Share his face, his name, and the details of where he was last seen.
The more people who know this case, the better chance there is that the right person sees it. Someone out there may still have the missing piece. For Martin's family, for his friends, and for everyone still looking for answers, we need to keep this case visible.
Thank you for watching Crime Solver Central. Please share this video, subscribe to our channel, and sign up for notifications.
We will keep covering cases that need attention, and together we can help bring answers to families who are still waiting.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Stay safe, stay curious, and stay loud.